It's the Bible Recap Chat, Study Guide Edition, and I'm coming to you from my yard where I've spent the bulk of the evening. That's my rosemary bush. I love her. We've been rocking and rolling for a few years, but I finally got some hostas, y'all. I've been waiting for this for the longest, and I had to go to Lowe's today to get some stuff for the pool, and so I got some discount plants. I got some hostas, and I just made it happen. So I'm gonna just come from you with my rosemary plant in the background, and let's talk about our scripture today. So I will tell you that I grew up. My grandmother raised me from 5 to 10, and she had the most beautiful flowers in the yard, and I aspire to be like that, and then house plants, and it's crazy because she died when I was 10, but I don't know, it's ingrained in me. I love it too. And so I have a little garden, and maybe I'll shoot from the garden soon, but I have a few things growing there. So I just love putting my hands in the dirt. I mean, I got these nails, so I'm trying not to do much of putting my hands in the dirt, but anyway, I just love it. And so if you love it too, what are you growing? What are you growing this season? We'll talk more about gardening later. Let's go ahead and get into 1:19, and we're looking at 1 Chronicles 7 through 10, okay? And so we've got more genealogies, okay? Genealogies of chapter 7 lists only one person who accomplished a significant task, right? Who is this person, and what is the accomplishment? Why is it noteworthy that it is listed? So this is talking about Joshua. And why is Joshua so important? He led them into the promised land. Moses did all of that work in all of those chapters and all of that time, but he does not get to lead them into the promised land. So what does this highlight? It highlights God's faithfulness to fulfill his promises. God says he's going to do it, and he does it. He does make them wait because of their disobedience, but you're going to see that there is consequences for unfaithfulness. In chapters 8 and 9, which tribe has 2 genealogies listed? We see that this is going to be the tribe of Benjamin, and it is mostly because they have the kingly line with Saul. They produce the first king. And then they also play a role in Jerusalem's population after the exile. So you're going to see that Benjamin is placed of importance. And so the thing is, what ends up happening is that Benjamin, right, their tribe is going to have the leaders in Israel, while Judah is going to have David as the leader. So we're going to have a split kingdom for a while, and that's what we're getting ready to get into. So the tribe of Benjamin is a big deal, right? And so they have 2 genealogies listed. And then chapter 9 talks about the future exile. Why are people exiled? And so this is a little bit, and even Kanoi said this morning in the Heart Dive that, even though this is a chronological plan, this is kind of given to us out of order, but I think it's a good way to set it up, if that makes sense. So in chapter 9, we see that they are exiled. They are exiled because they were unfaithful to God. The exile was not random. This is not something that randomly happened. You see my baby girl back there? Let's get a little tooth out. She's very old. She's very special, but sorry. So the exile was not random. It reinforces faithfulness, and it shows that faithfulness brings along blessing, and then it highlights that unfaithfulness has consequences. And again, consequences might not always be consequences that we see here on earth. And then also, we've got to understand that we only see what people allow us to see, right? The consequences can come in different ways. Think about Saul. Think about how he was tormented. His soul was tormented. Here they come. A girl can hardly get peace and quiet around here when she is outnumbered 3 to 1. Well, I got Duchess, but we're outnumbered, okay? Number 4, chapter 9 also records the future of their return after the exile ends. Which tribe is the first to return? What might be the reason for this? Can you imagine that I do this in front of 20 kids, and I just flip over my words all the time, and I just sorry, y'all. I'll get it out at some point. We're going to see that the Levites are the first ones, right? And this makes so much sense, because what is God about? God is about people being drawing near to him. So it's super important that he puts the Levites there first so they can set up all the things while the people come back, right? And so as they come back, the temple is being restored. Worship is being a priority, because the whole reason they were exiled in the first place is because they had fallen away. So hopefully when they come back, they learn their lesson. Let's not fall away again. Because let me tell you, one of the things that got me to be obedient and surrender, because I've always believed, right? I've always been a believer. I've always loved the Lord. I've always believed that Jesus, died upon that cross to save me, but I was not willing to be obedient. Okay. And I thought that being a good person was good enough, and it is not. Okay. One of the things that got me was the fact that when I get to where I'm going, as Dolly Parton, sorry, that's what the kids call her, Dolly Parton and Brad Paisley sing, like when I get where I'm going, I want to hear, well done, good and faithful servant. I do not want to hear, depart from me. I do not know you. One of the biggest things that got me to be obedient, because I did not understand. And then I'm so grateful that I found a church that was a Bible believing, Bible preaching church. And my pastor encouraged me over and over, don't take it from me, read it for yourself. All the years of my life, all the churches I had been to, because I'm not like, I was raised in church. Never once was I told, go read it for yourself. And maybe I wasn't listening, but not like, and I'm telling you, my pastor, you're sitting in the pew and you think that he is talking right to you. And I'm not the only one that says that. And so I want to be told, good job. Well done, good and faithful servant. Like, I cannot imagine the Lord saying, depart from me, I've never knew you. I'd be like, yes, you know me. I talk to you every day. Like, it's Heather. So I hope that you're seeing that too. And I hope that you're talking more to him. I hope that you are able to hear his voice more. I hope that you are, just growing in the Lord through this. I mean, we're 119 days in, right? And there's still a lot left. But I fell in love with the Lord watching him chase after his people and knowing that he loves us that much. And we're in the middle of that. We're seeing that. And even though, it's just like us and our kids, even though, our kids mess up, we still love them. I have to discipline them because I need to make sure I'm raising you right. And so that's the Lord, y'all. He is the best. Okay. Last one. Here comes the squad. All right. According to chapter 10, which version of Saul's death is correct? The one scripture recorded in 1 Samuel or the other story told by the Amalekite? And we see that 1 Samuel is correct. This is where Saul is dying by falling on his own sword. And the important part here is, this is the takeaway. Not every voice in scripture is telling the truth, okay? So we have to be very careful, because people will cherry pick Bible verses and make it twist to serve them, but not every single thing in scripture is truth, okay? We need to understand that some things in there show what people said, not really what happened. And this is a perfect example. The Amalekite guy was a liar, right? And so we need to make sure that we've read it so we understand when we're getting false teaching, when people don't know what they're talking about. I'm telling you, my best friend, she was 80 comments deep in this post, and me and her were back and forth, and I was like, look, the girl she doesn't know. She is defending herself and her beliefs because she has not read the Bible. And it happens like that. And so that's a wrap, y'all. We will get into some more Psalms tomorrow, and we have a double game, so there's no telling where I'm going to come from, but I appreciate you. And again, I pray that you are growing and learning, and I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.